Hello friends and customers of SMR. Welcome to our first weekly reflection on the stainless steel market. Actually today I would like to address what's on everybody's mind, the impact of the corona pandemic on our industry. And we actually at SMR used the last weeks to analyze as detailed as possible what impact that will have on the demand side of the market. First, let us look at the macroeconomic picture here. And quickly, the stock exchanges have recovered to a big extent. We are only 17 and 14% in Germany and in North America below the beginning of the year stock valuations. That seems to be that the investors are optimistic that most of the crisis is already behind us. I'm not sure whether they are correct. Oil prices collapsed, minus 60%. Global industrial production, minus 5%. Minus 27%, the automotive industry. This is, as I said, just the first quarter. And then GDP was down by 3% in the first quarter, and the relevant raw materials, moly down by 10%, nickel down by 10%. The only one that's up is ferrochrome, and that has to do with South Africa being such an important supplier, and on the other side have been shut down for several weeks recently. Oxford Economic Forecasting shows us this picture, and it's not a nice one. 2 days ago, they downgraded the growth forecast for 2020 GDP worldwide to 10.6% minus. We have not seen that in a very long time. 10 years ago in the financial crisis, this was probably only a third of that. So it's a very deep bump here. And when you look at Europe and North America, you have clear double-digit reductions that they are expecting. So what did we do at SMR? We are tracking 78 end-use segments where stainless steel is being consumed, and we assign to each one of them how deep the impact will be and how long it will last. The impacts are up to minus 75% and more consumption reduction, and the timing is some segments after 3-4 quarters the things are back to normal. Others, even after 8 quarters, we will still have an impact that is felt. These are consumer goods and medical. Below you have chemical, petrochemical, then automotive and transport, and then all the ABC and infrastructure fields that you see there. So, and last but not least, not to forget the industrial and heavy industry. The high-level summary brings us the following. Our model is resulting in that. In Europe, we are expecting this year the stainless demand to decline by 16% and recover by 17% next year. Everybody who works with statistics knows that minus 16 plus 17, you are not coming back to the pre-crisis levels. We will miss this year in Europe 1 million tons of stainless demand. The Americas are even more severe impacted this year, minus 18. China also, we expect minus 8. I know some sources in China think different, but this is what we believe. And then other Asia, minus 13. This is more like Europe, rest of the world, dominated by India, minus 10% this year and plus 19 next year. And that brings us to this 11% reduction in demand, stainless demand globally, and 16% next year. So globally, the world is recovering fully in 2021, but in the individual regions, this is not the case. So when you look at it over quarter by quarter, because we are seeing these different quarters here, the worst quarter was the second quarter 2020, when more or less the demand was falling by 20% globally. Yeah? It started in China, then came to Europe, North America, and we are still having strong effects in Japan as we speak. Then the recovery already starts in the third, fourth quarter throughout 2021, and you see by the end of 2021, the pre-crisis levels of 2019 will globally be reached. This was our forecast from January, so you see how this virus has impacted the stainless steel demand globally. When we look at the demand gaps, these are the volumes that you see here that are not consumed because of the pandemic. You see that the strongest demand reduction is in second quarter, and then it already gets lower again. On the supply side, we believe that we are lagging behind. So we think there could be up to 1 quarter of supply side reaction gap. And what we are going to do is in our next reflection of next week, we will then talk about the supply side. So at the end, I can only advise you to hope for the best, but still prepare for the worst. Thank you for listening this week. And if you want any information, go to www.smr.at, or if you have some feedback where you agree or disagree, send it to us at marketresearch@smr.at. Thank you very much.